Okay, so 2025 didn't give us the face-melting bull run some people expected, but it did give us more than you might think. In this video, we're diving straight into the newly released Binance Research report titled 2025 and Themes for 2026, fresh off the press. As ever, the content in this video is not financial advice. It's for information and entertainment purposes only. So in this video, we'll unwrap the big picture of everything the report says actually mattered in 2025, plus a handful of themes people will be watching closely in 2026. So make sure to keep watching to the end. Okay, let's do this. 2025 was off to a hazy start. At times, we found ourselves starting the year in total data fog. New administration, massive tariff shocks nicknamed Liberation Day, a record-long government shutdown, AI hype going parabolic then crashing back down. Markets were swinging 76%. Brutal. But late 2025, something flipped. We're heading into 2026 with what the Binance Research report is calling the policy Triumvirate. 3 massive tailwinds aligning at the same time. First, a massive fiscal stimulus is hitting hard, with tax refunds and cash transfers pumping hundreds of billions into the economy. Second, global central banks from the Fed to the European Central Bank, ECB, to the People's Bank of China, PBOC, are flipping the script, turning dovish and unleashing coordinated monetary easing. And third, the long-awaited regulatory clarity is finally within reach, cutting through the fog and opening the door wide for growth within the potential to provide liquidity rocket fuel. Add in a serious talk about a US strategic Bitcoin reserve actually moving from seized coins to the real purchases, and you start to see why many people think 2026 could be explosive. So, why did Bitcoin end 2025 slightly red then? In 2025, BTC hit $126,000. ETFs sucked in over $21 billion. Corporates now hold 5.5% of all Bitcoin ever, yet it still ended the year slightly red while gold and equities ripped. Why? Because Bitcoin stopped acting like digital cash and started behaving like a high volatility micro asset. Bitcoin's demand is now coming through Wall Street ETFs, corporate treasuries, and macro hedges, not from people sending Satoshis for coffee. It's officially becoming digital gold, while the total crypto market cap smashed through $4 trillion for the first time. But there was one particular crypto asset class that really made 2025 theirs: stablecoins. Stablecoins grew almost 50% to over $305 billion and handled trillions in value, often moving more money daily than Visa. They've become the internet's fastest, cheapest way to send money across borders. A huge driver here was a Genius Act, signed into law on July 18, 2025. This was the first ever comprehensive federal US stablecoin framework. It mandates that issuers hold 100% high-quality reserves, cash or short-term treasuries, do monthly audits, and give holders priority in case of issuer bankruptcy. The report calls it a regulatory watershed and green light for institutions. Basically, the moment stablecoins went truly mainstream and safe enough for big money to jump in. In Europe, MiCA fully kicks in, the first comprehensive crypto rulebook across 27 countries. It standardized rules for exchanges, stablecoins, and issuers, forcing a big rotation towards compliant, mostly euro-backed, stablecoins, and tightening compliance. The report notes this created a more orderly market, with fines topping 540 million euros for rule breakers and helped drive institutional confidence. The report highlights another game changer that made history this year: real-world assets, RWAs. More money flowed into tokenized versions of things like US Treasuries, stocks, bonds, and funds, then into classic crypto trading apps. This is crypto finally plugging into the real financial system. Big traditional financial players are no longer just watching. They're building on top of blockchain. When BlackRock launched their massive tokenized treasury fund, BUIDL, Binance integrated it as usable collateral on the institutional version platform and helped bring a version directly onto BNB Chain. Same story with Franklin Templeton's Benji tokenized funds, who partnered with Binance and expanded onto BNB Chain too. These real live integrations bring institutional grade yields, security, and trust straight to millions of everyday users through Binance's infrastructure. Now, let's talk about L1 chains. Where are we now in this space? The three main L1 chains had very different stories in 2025. Ethereum still leads developers in DeFi, but most action shifted to faster layer 2 networks on top. Solana, still lightning fast and cheap. It got its own US ETF and crushed trading and payments. BNB Chain, the surprise powerhouse, dominated high-speed trading, new real-world assets, and got even faster after upgrades. Takeaway from the Binance Research report: 2025 was the year crypto transitions from speculation to financial infrastructure. So, where does this lead us for this year? Here are 7 big things the report says to watch in 2026. Policy. Governments and central banks are set to flood the system with liquidity, big tax refunds, plus lower rates, plus deregulation. Historically, when lots of extra cash hunts for returns, risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto tend to do extremely well. US Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. Legislation is advancing from seized coins to potential real government purchases. If that happens, it's a whole new level of structural demand. Stablecoins. Apps that feel normal banking but pay much better interest. 4 to 10% plus backed by real treasuries go mainstream globally. This could bring hundreds of millions of regular people onto blockchain rails. Tokenized RWAs. The next phase isn't just making digital versions of bonds and stocks. It's banks and funds actually moving them around every day for loans, collateral, instant settlement. That could be when true explosion happens. On-chain trading. Decentralized exchanges already grabbed over 20% of spot volume in 2025. Binance Research sees leveraged trading, futures, perps, shifting big time on-chain in 2026. AI agents. Smart AI helpers already processed over 100 million automatic payments in late 2025. When they begin trading, buying services, and paying each other 24/7 at scale, crypto usage could go parabolic. Institutions. Money is getting extremely picky. Projects with real users and real revenue, especially ones tied to big institutions, keep attracting capital. And right now, the Clarity Act, the big market structure bill that could finally define who regulates what and give clearer rules for DeFi, exchanges, and on-chain assets, is, at the time of recording this very video, still in the Senate. Feedback from the industry, institutions, and lawmakers is currently being consolidated after the House version passed late last year. Most analysts expect movement in Q1 2026, and the market is pricing in a high chance of passage this year. If clarity lands, it removes one of the last big regulatory clouds, a huge unlock for institutional participation and product innovation. So, there you have it, straight from today's Binance Research report. 2025 proves crypto is becoming real financial infrastructure, and the Genius Act was one of the biggest catalysts that made it possible. 2026 is when that infrastructure finally gets turned on at full tilt. If you're just getting started, Watch the other videos on the channel for more education and insight. If you want to read the full report, the link is in the description below. Like if this helped, drop your number one 2026 watch item in the comments, and as always, do your own research. See you in the next one.